it just described for me exactly why I said that I find it remarkable that you're a woman. Because when you said about women being willing to take that initiative, you know, and in a sense being willing to stand out and be independent, and that's traditionally a more masculine quality.
Absolutely. And it's also scary for a woman to do so, because she gets 20 times more criticized than a man. Yeah. She gets doubted more than a man would. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, I've had all that. Yeah. Sure.
So I was wondering...
But I forgot. Because, yeah, those kind of things is like, they happen in my life, but it's not what I stand still for. Yeah. It's like, okay, I realize that I have to struggle more, or they want me to struggle more because I'm a woman, and I sort of go like, away with it, because I'm not willing to struggle for that. I don't want to stand still with that. Yeah. I just keep on going. And it's because it's quite a different expression from, like you said, a woman who might tend to be more attracted to the role of service, so to speak. Yeah. You know, compassion in that sense, which maybe comes more naturally to women. And then most of the quote awakened, enlightened women that I'm aware of, not that I've met many, you know, it's like in India, for example, it's often this the Divine Mother. You know, that's kind of the persona and the transmission. It's all to do with compassion, and then it's more the male awakeners. Yeah, they're the ones that are traditionally willing to brandish a sword. You know, and say, you know, this is tough, and you know, maybe we have to divide. So well, I'm not brandishing a sword. I don't want to do it as a fight.
No.
I want that very clear, because that's not the way.
Right.
It's like, because then if I brandish a sword, I'm creating resistance. Right. Because I'm telling that I am seeing resistance. Right. So if I see resistance, I create resistance. Right. And that's not what I want. Right.
So just to finish off this thread, because you've spoken about, we've been speaking about what that would be for a woman to, if you like, take on the positive aspects of masculinity in order to become more fully herself. Can you speak to what that is for men?
A man who's aware now and being a teacher, that's what you mean?
That, or just a man who's men in our time who are sincerely endeavouring to evolve and and integrate and realise in themselves the fullness of these two qualities.
If these men do that with the sense that they actually complement a woman, and I mean it now very personal, that they don't become too impersonal, because men tend to become very impersonal when they look for, let's call it, enlightenment. Yeah. If they realize that it is a thing of opening one's heart towards someone else and wanting to complement, and are at the same time willing to lead as well as to follow, then that has an enormous impact. First of all, because then man and woman can work together, right, which is the idea. That's why the whole thing of matrimony started in the first place. It's because man and woman together are a complemental society that can actually create something very powerful. Right. They are, I call it an isle of hope. Yeah. If a man stays within this, I call it a kind of selfish purity, like the saints used to do, right? They go totally the wrong way, because then it becomes a masculine thing again. Yeah. It's not, if we want unity, we must get woman and man together. Right. So if he's willing to do it through the heart, with a woman, and so make a woman happy, so that he learns to become selfless, which is for a man not a normal thing to feel. Yeah, a man is more selfish than selfless. That had, in the old times, also its purpose. But in our time, it's gone, because woman can look after herself. Right. So he doesn't have to be selfish anymore. He can be selfless. And if he learns that and he makes a woman happy, then together they can actually push forward humanity.
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely for man a big, big thing to become aware, but through the heart, not through the head. And before, most initiates were very evolved, but in their heads. It was like they were very used to higher thinking, but higher feeling was not really what they did. Yeah, they would keep it to themselves. That's why very many initiates, either they had no woman whatsoever, or they had all the priestesses around them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
Exactly, which is both very selfish. And of course, I hope that there will become a lot of these more enlightened men, because there's so many women that are really longing for the right partner.
Wow.
And not just for this selfish love, this selfish relationship, but because they really see that together they could be such a powerful unit of doing something. But alone, it's not that same thing.
No.
It's not, I've noticed myself, I mean, I've been a teacher long before I got married to this beautiful man I'm married to. But I still see that from the moment I was married, it was far more powerful. Because having somebody standing there and actually standing behind me, and somebody sees that he is a very strong man with a very strong character, and he's actually willing to stand behind me, that he doesn't need to be the protagonist, and they see that kind of strength, they all of a sudden get really like, wow, that's a man. Yeah? If a man can get there, that he doesn't need to be the protagonist, but he might be. But he doesn't need to be. That the woman, she doesn't need to be the protagonist, but she might be.
Right.
She might have to be.
Right.
That would be fantastic. Because then it goes beyond this whole personal thing.
Yeah.
Then love becomes far more than those 4 letters can say.
Right.
Then it will just start to crawl over the earth and grab everybody in
That's
their little
beautiful, yeah.
soft paws.
Beautiful. Wow. Thank you.
So love is the way.
Love is the way. Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought you described beautifully how it's like a third force. You know, when man and woman can come together like that in complete freedom and fullness. Yeah. There's something.
Well, then we've left
else.
polarity.
Yeah.
We've left polarity. As long as we are man and woman, we're in the polarity and what we want to do. And I think with that we should finish this, because I think that's a real good way to let everybody know what I really would like to say. We are living in a world of polarity. We are living in the yin and the yang. But we didn't start with that. We started as a unit. It was just one. Yeah. And we can go back to one. But not by itself. Only by choice. Right. And if man and woman come together, they're the yin yang together, and then they dissolve. Because that's the idea. If 2 people really love each other, they dissolve within each other without losing the self. But the polarity is gone. And that's what we want to get to come out of this world of polarities and becoming one.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.